Trump, how to say this? Commencement at a college, is that not, or a university, is that not it's a very important day. The argument can be made that for the students graduating and the parents who helped them get there, it is one of the signature days in that young person's life. They've just completed, on average, 4 years of college education. And they're about to take that education and try to apply it in a world that is so fucked up because of Donald Trump. It's going to be a real challenge to do anything. But these kids who graduate with their degrees, their undergraduate degrees, they're going to make the effort. They've sacrificed a lot to get these degrees, and they're going to make an effort. Young people always are where the future lies. We know that. I mean, come on, that's like very obvious truth. So it is a momentous day, college graduation. Oh, my God, it's right up there with getting married or getting divorced, having your first child, college graduation, if that's the course that you or your children take for their lives, college graduation. Well, Trump was speaking at the University of Alabama yesterday in front of the graduating students. And first of all, he took kind of a dig at his so-called first buddy, the South African jumping jack, who seems to have disappeared. Have you noticed that? And he took this swipe at Elon Musk just a few days after he left the White House. This multi richest man on earth, billionaire. So the toilet rat was speaking in front of these graduating students, University of Alabama, yesterday, when he boasted that the Tesla CEO and Musk's Silicon Valley colleagues have all started, quote, kissing my ass now, end quote. He said this to the graduating class of 2005, University of Alabama. This rotten fucker stood there and said that in front of these young people. Yeah, how about Elon Musk and all his buddies out there in Silicon Valley? They all started kissing my ass now. Oh, that was so classy, you toilet rat punk, you. Oh, my God. Now, he made those comments during his commencement speech. I'm sure the graduating class, University of Alabama 2025, will remember this one all their lives. But in this speech, he offered advice. At several points, he got raucous cheers. Really? Yeah. While describing his actions to crack down on transgender women in sports. Yeah! That's what you want to hear at the commencement address of your graduating class, University of Alabama, huh? But it was during a moment that the toilet rat was talking about fixing what he calls a broken system. He broke it. Keep in mind what the business journals and just about everybody whose comment was worth the rest of us paying attention to, all the comments that were made at the end of the Biden administration, what was being delivered to this filthy pig Donald Trump, and that was an economy that was on the uptick. It was poised to boom. Look what the son of a bitch has done now in, 104 days or some such shit. Look what he's done. But anyway, he was talking about fixing what he calls a broken system, only broken because he broke it, when he took this unexpected jab at the jumping jack Nazi from South Africa. He began this way. Change is never easy, and the closer you get to success, the more ferociously those with a vested interest in the past will resist you. They want to resist. Okay. You have to break the system a little bit and follow your own instincts. But if your vision is right, nothing will hold you down. Nothing. You have to have the right vision. End quote. Then the toilet rat started boasting about the types of what he called internet people who vehemently opposed him during his first term and who now support him, which to me is just, these filthy, cowardly son of a bitches, these billionaires. What disgusting examples of human cowardice and willing to kiss Trump's ass. And he was going down the list of, he wasn't going down the list. He was just generally speaking about the billionaires who now support him. And then he named one in particular. This is what he said then. Quote, if you look at some of these internet people, I know so many of them. Elon is so terrific, but I now know all of them. They all hated me in my first term, and now they're kissing my ass. It's true. All of them, it's true. End quote. This is one sick fuck, this guy. I mean, he belongs in a goddamn institution someplace where he's fed live fish when he gets hungry. Now, of course, if we take a quick look in the Wayback Machine, we don't have to go back too far. In 2022, Musk and Trump didn't have a whole lot of love for each other. That's after the South African asshole suggested that the toilet rat was too old to become the next president and that the toilet rat needed to, quote, sail into the sunset, end quote. That's what the jumping jack said about the toilet rat a couple of years ago, 3 years ago. And, of course, the toilet rat never wanted to avoid a little snotty back and forth with somebody. He claimed that Musk would have gotten on his knees and begged for help. And he added this, quote, when Elon Musk came to the White House asking me for help on all his many subsidized projects, whether it's electric cars that don't drive long enough, driverless cars that crash, or rocket ships to nowhere, without such subsidies, he'd be worthless. And tell me how he was a big Trump fan and Republican. I could have said, drop your knees and beg, and he would have done it. Now, that's what Trump said then. So anyway, for whatever reason, these two fucking monsters grew closer and closer. And, the toilet rat usually has little strokey words to say about the South African. But the toilet rat has started mocking Muck in the past month. And this is all reported by Daily Beast. And the mocking is Trump. This is what bubbles up inside this miserable son of a bitch, Donald Trump. When he starts to realize that the person with whom he has been relying on or depending on or who has been handling some of his duties, when that person starts to get more attention than the toilet rat gets, well, the toilet rat loses his mind. He can't stand that. So he starts chopping at the person who all of a sudden is getting more publicity than he. In November 2024, last November, the toilet rat said, quote, Elon won't go home. I can't get rid of him until I don't like him, end quote. Well, it appears that moment has finally come, and Muck packed up his workspace at the White House and moved his focus back to his floundering, shitty little suburban mark of, oh, look at me, I have a Tesla, because Tesla is going belly up. And Susie Wiles told the New York Post, she's the White House chief of staff, another one of these Trump fucking morons, but she told the New York Post in an interview that was about Trump's first 100 days, she said this, quote, instead of meeting with him in person, I'm talking to him on the phone, and it's the same net effect. He's not out of it altogether. He's just not physically present as much as he was, end quote. Now, you might think she was talking about Trump, and she may have been. But according to the Post, she was talking about the South African asshole, the one that now is kissing Trump's ass, as he's so willingly pointed out at a commencement address, University of Alabama. Now, I wonder, University of Alabama, okay, you got to consider that too. No offense to people who are graduating from the University of Alabama. None at all. I mean, a university degree is university degree, but consider this. University of Alabama has been hit hard. It is a Southern Research Center. It does research in public health, in epidemiology, in science, in engineering. Like most big universities, and University of Alabama is a big university. It has more than just a football team, more than just the Crimson Tide. They really do. But that university is trying to figure out what in the fuck they're going to do with this removal of funds from the federal government that the toilet rat has decided to put into effect. So he goes to this university that he has just crippled with his bullshit cuts and stands there and insults the entire graduating class. Now, the report from Daily Beast is that a couple of times during his speech, the graduating class applauded him with raucous applause. Well, you can try to figure that one out for yourself. The students were applauding a Nazi fucker standing them who just gutted the budget of their university and who is using vulgar language at their commencement, and they applaud him. Oh, my goodness. I wonder if that would have happened at, say, Ohio State or University of Michigan or UCLA or Columbia. But at Alabama, University of Alabama, the graduating class of 2025 had no problem, apparently, en masse. I'm sure there were individuals who were just disgusted by this fucking toilet rat standing there using vulgar language at their commencement after having gutted the budget of their university. But for the most part, University of Alabama and the regents and the board and all of them were just happy as a pig in shit to have Donald Trump come give the commencement address. Okay. Yesterday, the toilet rat signed another one of his infamous executive orders. Now, please keep in mind that executive orders do not have the force of law. It takes acts of Congress for certain things that this toilet rat is trying to eliminate by signing his vicious little name. And have you ever noticed when his signature looks like something, if you sat on it, it would penetrate your flesh and make you bleed? But he signed an executive order that's designed to cut federal funding for NPR and PBS. That's according to reports. This was in the Times. And he's accusing NPR and PBS of producing biased coverage and left-wing propaganda. God damn. I mean, this guy can't open his mouth without flies and worms and cockroaches tumbling out until he can clear the shit out of his mouth. And then the next thing that comes out is a lie about everything. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. You know, the Progressive Voices Network brings you commercial-free commentary from today's leading progressive radio hosts and pundits, like me, Mike Malloy, 24 hours a day. I'm not your typical old guy from the 80s or the 90s talk radio host, and Progressive Voices is not your typical talk radio network. It's a listener-supported nonprofit with no corporate control whatsoever over our broadcast. So hosts like me, Mike Malloy, are free to rant and scream and carry on about whatever we like. We're often controversial, but we're never boring. Weeknights, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West on the Progressive Voices Network. Always progressive, always on. I'm Mike Malloy. Keep it lit.